Hi, my name is Paul Samuels. I run Love Music, Hate Racism. I also work at Atlantic Records. I have done for the last 25 years. Yeah, that's me. Well, the reason behind the rebrand of from Rock Against Racism to Love Music, Hate Racism was purely based on I didn't want it to be sort of genre specific, and I also wanted it to be a really simple, clear message, like that anyone who loves music should hate racism, really, because music has so many different influences, and you can't really, hopefully, be a racist and dance to a Stormzy record. That would be my theory. I know that music brings people together, and Love Music, Hate Racism is a really simple, great message, and we all love music, and we should all hate racism, and that's why it was rebranded. So with Love Music, there's always been a live element to it, of course, and I think taking inspiration from Rock Against Racism, Roger Huddle, and Red Saunders doing that amazing thing in the park with the Clash and the X-Ray Specs, and me being a young punk going to that and seeing that effect. I want to replicate that, and we're sort of growing into that. I mean, we have 22 local groups up and down the country that are always doing activities. There's a festival in Oxford. There's gigs happening all the time in Birmingham. There's lots of active groups. So we inspire those groups to get out and have artists get involved. And then on a larger scale, we're now in conversation with all the big promoters and all the big agents, and about doing a huge event next year, which will tie into our Beautiful Resistance campaign, which will be an outdoor event in the summer in London. But we'll also be doing local events up and down the country using local bands, but also bringing massive artists into areas that normally wouldn't have gigs. We're probably going to do something in Rochdale. We'll do something in Luton, especially for Tommy Robinson. So we're going to take music into areas that are confrontational, not in the sense of violence, but we want amazing artists performing, sending their message out in areas that really need it. So London is fantastic and wonderful to play because it's easy, but really we don't need to do that much in London. We need to do more outside of London, but we will do a banner event in London next year. So we had also done, previous to this, we'd taken over the Lovebox Festival and had the site and been given the site and put on the Good, the Bad and the Queen in the park there in Vicky Park, which was amazing. So we've done some really substantial events. We've done Stoke Football Club. Over the years we've done lots of incredible live things, and that is a real focus for us, and we find that really brings people together. So definitely part of what we do is localised smaller events, and then large events up and down the country will be happening and continue to happen. The reason that I think when I first saw Skinheads, when I went on that first demo, when I went down to watch the Clash, and I was a kid Jewish boy from Ruislip, hadn't really come across any major problems in my life. My father and I was well educated in the Holocaust, and well educated that we weren't liked. Jews aren't liked, so you need to be aware of that in your life. And then I saw these skinheads, and I was like, hang on a minute, these are a bit scary. And I kind of looked at that, and it always stayed with me. And one thing that has always stayed with me is my father taught me that you should never believe in human nature. Human nature killed 6 million people. It's killed a lot of people, and people will turn and they will change their minds about you if it means that they're going to save themselves. And and I really wanted to do something about it, and I felt like I was in a position now to do something about it. And it's always, hate has always been an abhorrent thing, and I've always accepted people from different worlds. It's never been a thing for me. In fact, my father was a great teacher of that, because we lived on one of the main reasons that this always sticks with me is we lived on a new build estate in suburban Ruislip, and no one really knew we were Jewish. They didn't really know what a mezuzah was on the door, and they kind of didn't, it was what it was, and it was kind of nice middle class people. And they had this meeting. They called a meeting of everyone in the close to go to this meeting. My father went to this meeting, and the meeting was about that an Indian family, an Asian family, had come to look at a house on the close. And this was in 1970 or something. And this family had come to see it, and the housing, all the people in the close were like, we're going to all get together and stop this happening. And my father came home and told me what had happened, and he said, none of the neighbours are ever going to talk to us again. And I was like, why? He said, because I called them all cunts. And I walked out and said, we're Jews and we want people from different worlds on this estate. And that was the last time that any of our neighbours really talked to us, and we moved eventually. But that stuck with me, and I was like, I can do something because I actually have access to all of these artists. So that's why, and that's how, I suppose. Why is that hate is an abhorrent thing, and I've always been taught that, and I want to make sure that people understand that just because someone's different doesn't mean they're bad. It's just they're different, right? So you get to know people. So that's the logic behind it for me. It's not political. I'm not doing this for some sort of crazy left-wing party. It doesn't matter to me. Do you know what I mean? It's all about bringing people together. That's why. I kind of thought that if we had all of our artists, and as many artists as possible, wearing a shirt and pledging that, showing that they were supporting Love Music, Hate Racism on all their socials, that we'd have a start point of a conversation. And we did a panel here, which was me and Wayman Bennett from Stand Up to Racism, and Colette Levy, who's a Holocaust survivor, talking about why it was important to oppose racism and why it's important to sort of engage in these conversations. And we launched a t-shirt campaign on the back of that. We asked all of our artists to wear a t-shirt. In fact, I went backstage at the Brits and got Coldplay to actually wear the shirt before they were like, what's going on? And we were like, this is what we're doing. And they were like, wicked. And they put the shirts on and we made it happen. And then we got everyone else doing it. And we had an Impact Day, which was UN Anti-Racism Day, which is the second week in March. And we used that as a focal point. And we saw a huge reaction, 52 million impressions, and lots of people in conversation and lots of people supporting it. But it was a static thing. And that was the problem. For me, it was like, it happened, and what do we do now? So that was the question that I asked myself. That was great, but how are we engaging? How are we talking to kids? Yes, the kids are seeing, everyone, Plan B, whatever, wearing this shirt, and Dua Lipa and all these amazing artists. But what happens now? And I kind of had a lot of thought about that, and that's hence why we moved into the Beautiful Resistance campaign, which was the thing we're doing now. Yeah, so coming out of the t-shirts, brilliant. Going on the Tommy Robinson Free Tommy demo in June, seeing 15,000 far-right supporters in our beautiful city running around causing chaos. Really happy to get out of there in one bit, being chased down the street and having barriers thrown at us. As I was sitting on the train on the way home, I was kind of like, actually, I work in an industry that has these people that have these enormous voices, like these really positive voices, and we can promote them. We have these incredible people in these record companies that understand how to market these records. Therefore, we can understand how to reach millions and millions and millions of people. So I had an idea to get artists talking. So the idea was to have this campaign, which we named, which I'm really happy about. So I think the Beautiful Resistance is an incredible word. Like, beautiful resistance allows you to kind of be swan-like in a world where people are using hate, and that's what I really didn't want to fall into, is the rhetoric of hate. And I didn't want to be like, these people are terrible and these people do this. I wanted to show what music can do and how multicultural it is, and how you can bring people together through music. and we thought, let's get artists talking. I had this great idea, let's get all these artists chatting to each other, and it'd be absolutely easy and amazing. And it was very difficult to get everyone in the right place at the right time, but we with massive support from Warner Music, allowing us to use their film crews and their studios and this room actually to film everyone in. We filmed over 36 pieces of content, which we're still rolling out now. Really amazing energy, really incredible artists, huge worldwide artists, Ed Sheeran, Dave, Georgia Smith, Rudimental, Nile Rodgers. I mean, it's an incredible list of people. Mahalia, Koji Radical, Leanne La Havas, Ray Black. Huge artists, and we were only scratching the surface of what that's going to be, because we're still in these conversations. But this conversation was all based around positivity, about a journey, and about music, and it's inspirational, and it's not based on hate. It's based on love, and that is why I think it's been really successful, and will continue to be successful. And we, are doing a hero piece every month. We're actually going to have some pretty much every week for the next 2 months, and then we move into the next phase of the campaign, which would be more footage, collaborations of artists making music together, and it's really using music to unify, and that is what it can do. When Maxi Jazz said it, when he looks out on a stage and people are all moving to one beat, it brings people together, and it doesn't matter who they are, where they're from, what part of the world, and that breaks down barriers. And to me, that's the incredible tool that the right wing will never have. They will never have the voice of Drake, or the words of Ed Sheeran, or the intelligence of Dave, or Stormzy, or any of the incredible human beings we work with. Can make a huge difference. These people are heroes to many, and have a social responsibility which they're all learning to deal with, and they're all willing to step up. It's really exciting, actually, the amount of artists that are now ringing me going, this is incredible, I want to get involved. How do I get involved? It's wicked. So yeah, music is a powerful tool, and I want to use it in a great way. And it's so not about telling people to vote any which way. It's just about people accepting other people for who they are and what they are, and making great music and dancing to it. Because if we dance together, we'd be alright, I reckon. Okay, so I really feel that what frustrates me is that when people don't read, and my message is like, just look at the facts, like look at what's real. There's 1% of this country are Muslim. Tommy Robinson's telling us that Islam is going to take over England. It's just rubbish. It's just vile rubbish. And all I want is people to sort of have respect for other people, look at media with an eye, and make sure that it's facts that they're reading online, because as we all know, Cambridge Analytica did an amazing job of getting us out of Europe by using disinformation. And just when you post something, like, have a think about what you're posting online. Some of the stuff that you think is real is really not very real, and it causes a lot of problems. And just look at a society. The society should be mixed. It is mixed, and accept that and enjoy that, because immigration is not a bad thing. It brings so many benefits. I'm an immigrant. I'm the son of an immigrant. It's like so many of us are, and all we've done is do good things for society. So my thing is, please, like, look at what you read, make sure it's real, and get the right information, and try to please respect other people. And when you've got your Earth, Wind and Fire album on, think about who made it.